I was born out of wedlock, so like my parents weren't ever married. At first, I lived with my mom from the time I was born until I was about 5, and then my father came to our apartment one day and with the police and just kind of took me away and ran off with me to Ohio. And we lived together without like anyone else for about 2 years until I was 7. And then my dad met this girl, well, this woman named Susie, and then eventually we moved in with her and her children, and that was just a really bad situation for me because she was like the classic and like evil stepmother, I guess. I mean, I thought she was evil at the time. And I just went through a lot of emotional stuff, a lot of emotional abuse from my father and her, and physical abuse. And then that didn't work out after about a year and a half of us all living together, trying to be a family. My dad just kind of got fed up with her. And then my mom, after a couple months of living in our own apartment, it got to the point where she would like throw dishes at me and throw like anything. Like we would argue every night. We were arguing, and I was only like 10, 11 at the time. So like if I were to leave a towel like on the ground, I guess, she would just flip out and start throwing tons of things at me and calling me all these names and bad things. And then eventually, as time went on, it got so bad that every now and then she would threaten me with killing herself, and she would just tell me that it was my fault that she was doing it, and that it was my fault that we had to keep changing houses and moving apartments. And then when I was 12, we moved to Conneaut Lake. We lived in a summer cottage, but we rented out through the winter because it was cheaper. And we started going to church. And then a year later, after I went to a youth camp at the church and met some people, we moved on to the property and started living in the chalet. And then after a couple years of living there in the chalet, my mom's relationship with the pastors and all that was just becoming really terrible. We packed up all our stuff, our belongings, and we moved in with my mom's friend. And actually I found out that she was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia. And then I found out a way to message one of my friend's moms, and then we arranged that I was to run away to the high school. And she was going to pick me up in her car, and we were going to go back to Conneaut Lake. We decided to that we were going to have to petition the court for legal guardianship. So then for a couple months there, it was just a real battle with the courts and with my biological mother. And eventually we won the court case, and the family that I'm staying with now has 100% legal guardianship, and I kind of have like a place to call home now, finally. a proper home and a loving family that I never really had, and it's beautiful. And now I really just want to help kids that went through abusive situations and help them to find a way out of it, you know, or just being someone that can like talk to them and just to give them a sense of hope. And now I just get to live with people that love me and that I know that they love me. I don't have to like question myself if they love me or not, like every other day. I just feel really accepted into this new family that I have. What I would say to someone that's going through something like this is that you are loved and that there is someone out there that loves you and that there is a God out there that loves you and you're his child and he's just very pleased with you. And it's outrageous how much he loves you.